Yes. Selenium is a functional automation testing tool. What is functional testing? What is function? Are you a functional tester? Are you a performance? So now we know functional testing. Um, how many types of testing are there? I have already taught you this. That is the reason I'm asking you this. There are some newcomers. Newcomers again. Follow the pattern in the site. Everyone should try to answer. Functional testing. Functional testing. Functionality, the core business. You are testing the core business. For example, you want to test the core business of Bank of America. What is the core business of Bank of America? What is the core business of banking? So it's account transfers. So it's all about your checking account, saving accounts, transfers, withdrawing, deposits, and all this. So it's about accounts. But how are you accessing the system? How are you accessing the system now? How are you accessing the Bank of America system? Of course, you are going to bank. Other than going to bank, web application. You are using the Bank of America website to access the Bank of America system. Am I right? So most of the services right now are given to you as web. I know iPhone app based, I don't want to talk about it. Most of the application services business is giving is nothing but web. On the web application there is functionality. As a tester, first thing you do is the functionality. Then usability, supportability, system testing, performance testing, load testing, volume testing, and all these are different. That is non-functional. First duty is to check the functionality of the business is working fine. What is the business? Banking. For example, withdrawing deposits. And now the functionality is only given by web applications. Selenium is a functional testing web application functional testing tool. Okay, let me write that down. Okay. Functional testing tool. Can anyone tell me some of the other functional testing tools? What are the other functional testing tools? Anyone? Only the testing the functionality of the application, not really the performance. Load runner is not. JMeter can also test the functionality, but no one uses JMeter for functional testing, even though it can test the functionality. Remember? Okay. Lakshmi is telling that unit testing. Unit is functionality, but functionality of not the business, functionality of a program. I am talking as a end user application. I am not talking as a program. JUnit is not really, JUnit is not really, JUnit is not. Silk test, QTP, very good. Silk test, QTP. What else is there? Couple of years back, not couple of years back, 5, 6, 7 years back, they are fighting each other. Silk test and QTP used to fight. Even from last 10, 15 years, they used to fight each other to attain number one. Actually, QTP can be said, but Silk will say Silk is number one, but it's okay. But QTP has more market share. So Silk test and QTP. Shilpi is raising an interesting question here, that virtual user generator in load runner is also functional testing, but you are not doing any assertions, you are not doing anything, you don't use it for functional testing only. Okay, I agree, but it can be used, but they won't use. Okay, again. So Silk test and QTP are the famous functional testing tool. So Silk test functionality, how will be a functionality given to you? How will a business give the functionality to you? Coming back, one is, for example, in the olden days they gave desktop application, also called standalone applications. Okay. Then there is command line applications. Then there is web applications, custom protocol applications. Okay. Then there is web services. Okay, web services. I have a functionality. Bank of America has a functionality. I have to give it to the end user, or I can give it to the another person or another company, another business. How can I give it? For example, if you go to Bank of America, if you go to the real bank, on that machine there is a person who is using the machine there. Means a person who is accessing your checking account. What do you think? Do you think he is accessing a web application there? No. He is accessing desktop standalone applications. Their internal applications is standalone application. For example, you go to a gas station, you buy out. They will click two buttons and say that they will say that okay, print the receipt and they will give it to you. That is an application. Is that a web application? No, that is a desktop application. And then there are command line applications. These are old applications. Really, they don't have any user interface. That is command line. Now, everything is web. End user applications, business to consumer, B2C applications. B2C, a business giving to the direct consumer is nothing but a web application. Netflix, for example, they are selling video service. For example, what is that one? Fandango, they are selling tickets. Everything is B2C. Custom protocol application, for example, there are many applications based on Citrix protocols and other protocols, which I don't want to talk about now. So they are something. And business to business, B2B applications. For example, Bank of America wants to give a service to another bank or another vendor. They don't give web application, right? They will give web application or they will give web services. QTP and Silk test can test all of this. Not this one. QTP and not even this one too. Means it's okay. We can tell custom protocol because SAP applications or something. There are QTP and Silk test can test all these applications. Okay, good, very good. They are doing everything. I like that. Very good. But nowadays no one is using desktop application. So what if you do or what if you don't? I don't care. Okay, you might be doing it, but nowadays no one is using desktop application. If you use a desktop application, you are, literally if you are giving a desktop application for a consumer, then there is something really wrong with you. Okay, like with Microsoft. Okay, so there are no desktop applications for business to consumer. There are only business web applications. Forget about web services. These are different. Okay, these are different. So now, world is all about software as a service, right? Software as a service. So the service is inside the web application. So you have to test the web application. Functionality testing is nothing but web application testing. Selenium is a web application functional testing tool. It can only test web applications. It cannot test anything. What is the protocol web applications work with? What is the protocol web applications work with? HTTP or HTTPS. HTTPS. Very good. All right. And when I ask this, I expect answers from everyone online too. Okay. Because I know that you are learning, that you finished web services. All right. Okay. Coming back, test automations for web applications. See, why do we need to do automation? Why do we need to do automation in testing? Why do we need to do automation in testing? Please tell me. Anyone? Because a application is there, we just keep coming with the new features. We will to save time and money. Perfect, Rashmi. But the core concept is the repeatability. Repeatability. I have a white box QA. Every day something new is coming up, right? I'm reorganizing the recording, a video is coming or some other template is coming, some other new book is coming there. It's increasing. When I add something to my site, I have to make sure it is not breaking other things too. For example, today I worked on Selenium page. That means I can break the Java page. No, I should not. It should be like before. I can add new functionality. Today I uploaded some template. That doesn't mean I can break some other thing. Old recording should be still working. I uploaded a new recording. So we keep on adding stuff. So regression means old stuff should be so frequent. Whenever I do that, I want to make sure the site is still intact. Everything is working. And not only that, I want to save time. Rapid feedback to developers. Virtually unlimited iterations of test case execution. If I automate it, I can run the same test case 100 times. and support of for agile and extreme development methodologies. I will come there why Selenium fits into agile. QTP is not an agile based tool. Selenium is an agile based tool. How is that? Disciplined documentation of test cases, customized disciplined documentation of test cases. Please remember this point. I will come back to that. Customized defect reporting. Customized defect reporting means no defect reporting in Selenium. That's why they put it very smartly, that customized defect reporting, and finding defects missed by the manual testing. Okay. For anything, first question you face when you are using any automation tool: can I automate this or should I not? Should I do it or not do it? When to automate, when not to automate? The first thing which comes into mind is, for example, you are automating white box QL login. Do you think you will use it again? Of course, yes. Login is the core functionality of white box QL. You will use it. For example, I only created one page for only one time. For example, Attar asked me that please create me this page for today only. I want to read this. Tomorrow delete it. So for this page testing, do you automate it? Because anyway tomorrow I am deleting it. So there is no future purpose of that thing. So any one time change, or for example you are doing the automation, but I told that white box QA site is there, but tomorrow everyone we are moving into a new site. So is there purpose of doing the automation for white box QA if I am moving into new site and everything? There is not. And not only that, for example, so can you automate the recording inside it? Maybe you can, you are smart, you can, but does it deserve the time to be automated? Why you are doing automation? To help your testing. So it should not take enough time, means ROI, return of investment. When you automate, you have to make sure that it is returning the investment. It cannot take hours and hours where you are not getting the benefit out of the automation. So most of the time it will be there. So Selenium was created by Jason Huggins. I do not know if you have seen my email a few weeks back. Jason Huggins was in a meeting and I asked everyone to go to that meeting. Okay. Jason Huggins, there will be a Selenium meetup happening. No problem, Sridevi. No problem. Okay. Jason Huggins is the guy who worked in ThoughtWorks. Actually, he lives in Bay Area only. He goes to this Selenium meetup, which happens Wednesday of every month, first week and second week, I believe. So maybe next week you will get. Sometimes he comes to that meetup, so you can meet this guy. So don't think who is this guy. This guy is not really someone who is sitting somewhere or old enough. He still comes to these meetups. Okay, Jason Huggins is the one who created ThoughtWorks. He is now working with a different company. So there is a chance if you are in Bay Area, you can meet this guy. Okay, he developed this JavaScript library that could drive the interactions between the page, allowing them to automatically rerun the test. I will tell you what does that mean. We don't have to. He created this Selenium core. What is the Selenium core? We will see it later. And then Selenium has many versions. Actually, there is Selenium IRC, Selenium IDE. Something changed in 2006, but he changed in 2006. But we are seeing it in 2012. So especially, actually, people started using WebDriver from 2010. Actually, so this guy from Google created something called WebDriver. So that is nothing but his name is Simon Stewart from Google. He created this WebDriver API. Selenium and WebDriver combined together and they created this new version called Selenium 2 that is also known as Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver. So there are two versions of Selenium. You might be working on both the versions, but most of the time I will say that you worked on Selenium 1 only. Okay. But the company you're going might be using Selenium 2. Then why are you not teaching me Selenium 2? Why to still learn Selenium 1? Because there is no difference at all. Only the names, the calls are different. The core functionality is same. I will tell you. What does that mean or anything? Because everything you need Java, everything you need unit testing, everything you need framework creators, everything you need some models, design patterns and stuff. So it really doesn't matter if it is Selenium 1 or Selenium 2. It really doesn't matter. For a tester, really it doesn't matter. If it is a framework creator, it really matters like couple of things, but you don't have to go deeper into that. Then there is another tool from Selenium called Selenium Grid. This is used for parallel testing and stuff. Okay. So in Selenium 1, there is IDE. Let me write this down. In Selenium 1, there is IDE and the other one is called RC. There is an extra component also called grid. In Selenium 2, there is IDE, then there is WebDriver API. WebDriver API. Okay, WebDriver API. But I will tell you what does this mean. So most of the time you used Selenium 1. Okay, we will see. And what actually is Selenium? Trust me, it is a small Java API. What does that mean? Java, you are talking about Java and API. Alright, we will see. It is nothing but a small Java API like JUnit and stuff. Selenium only tests web applications. It can only test web application. It can't test anything. So people will try to, if there is some basic interview questions, they will play with you. What kind of applications here? And they will ask you one of the why I put history. Let me stop recording of this. Selenium works with every browser. So what are the browsers supported? Firefox. See, remember, what is the current version of Firefox? What is the current version of? It's 9 or 10? 9. The last one I used is 9. Firefox, I don't know what happened to Firefox in last 6 months. They moved from 4 to 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Every month they changed it. I don't know why. Okay. But Firefox most stable version was 3 point something, 3.6 I believe. Last, from 3.6 it really was very stable. Even 2 and 1 are also very stable. But what I'm trying to tell is Selenium cannot work with Firefox 1. Selenium supported only from Firefox 2, Firefox 3 and 3.6 and until 9 now. Okay. Selenium can test on IE, Internet Explorer, IE6, IE7, IE8. What is the current version of IE? 9. Current version is 9. Safari 2, 3, 4. Opera 8, 9, 10. I don't know what are the current versions of Opera and Safari. You have to find. If you are a web application tester, if you are a tester, it is your duty to find out what is the current version of the browser, what was the previous version and when it was supported, when it was not. I don't care. And also, I will give you a small assignment. Every browser has a XPath parser inside it. Every browser has a CSS supportability. See, who created XPath and CSS? Who created XPath, CSS, HTML, HTTP and all this? Who maintains them? Who is maintaining them? W3C is maintaining them. CSS has different versions. XPath has different versions. So who is coming up with all these versions? W3C. So, for example, there is CSS2, CSS3. Does IE6 support CSS2 or 3? IE6 is only CSS2. So, anything came in CSS3 is not supported by IE6. So, who supported it? IE7 and IE8. So, you have to know the technology in the web which is supported by the version of the browser. Because I will tell you, one of the common questions. Tell me some of the challenges you faced with Selenium. Oh, I had really a hard time testing it with IE6. This IE6 was a crazy browser. I don't understand how they made it. The CSS is very bad. If I write the CSS, it works in Firefox, but it doesn't work in IE6. So I have to do lot of extra programming in Selenium to cover IE6 testing. Simple. How you will know that? By experience or by reading. So that is the reason I am asking you to find out. So IE6 is the most problematic browser coming to the automation testing with Selenium especially, or with open source tools, any other open source tools. So if you see here, this mostly is done by Selenium 1. If you see here, when this slide was written, it was Selenium 1 only. Selenium 2 was not there. So if you see, there is Selenium IDE. IDE is nothing but a like QTP tool, where you can record, run and everything like QTP. RC is all code based. IDE is supported by only one browser, and what is that? You can see there. IDE is supported by only one browser, Firefox. Selenium IDE can be installed and run on Firefox only. Everything else is Selenium RC. Means you can't record a Selenium script on any of the other browser except Firefox. You can only really run everything on every browser. You can run the Selenium scripts on every browser, but you can't record it using every browser. So Selenium IDE only works with Firefox. Selenium IDE is nothing but an extension on Firefox. Have everyone used Firefox browser? It is one of the most beautiful and really most configurable browser you will ever see. And the first important goal, Firefox was created to help web developers because they had Mozilla also. Firefox is another project from them, but Firefox became more famous than Mozilla itself. They have Mozilla browser also, but Firefox is the most famous one because of its user extensions. The user extensions thing it brought up, for example, Selenium is a IDE, Firebug is an IDE. Now the user extensions on the Selenium Firefox are so very famous than Firefox itself. Means there are many softwares which are delivered as user extensions of Firefox. So Firefox extensions are very powerful than Firefox 2. Selenium is a extension on Firefox. Selenium IDE, not Selenium. Selenium IDE is nothing but an extension on the Firefox. Okay. So why do we want to, for example, now we know the browsers. There is an important question in Selenium like, tell me what is the difference between QTP and Selenium. Tell me how different you found about Selenium. So these are all this. Lakshmi is asking, isn't it Mozilla Firefox? Yes, this is Mozilla Firefox. There is a Mozilla browser also. Firefox is one from Mozilla. Mozilla is the company. Got it? So, Selenium. Why is Selenium? Why should we use Selenium and what are the advantages of Selenium over QTP? What is the first one? Can anyone tell me? What is the first one? Which is not written here. Why Selenium? I want to, that is the most favorite word, free. It's free. Simple, it's free. Right? It's free. There is no money, nothing for it. Right? Very good. Open source. Open source really means it doesn't have to be free. Open source really means that I am giving you the source code so you can change it. My software is also yours. So you can change it according to however you want. Free means literally there is no cost at all. For example, Jira is open source, but Jira charges you too. Jira is open source, but Jira charges you some money too, like $10 per person or something. Alright. Rashmi is asking me, QTP is not agile. So Selenium is agile, one thing, but that is not the best thing. First thing is free. And everything is web applications now, so it is a testing tool for web application. Runs in any mainstream browser. All the browsers are supported, so no limitations, nothing like that. And support tests in many languages. The beauty of Selenium is it is language independent. For example, when I write a script in QTP, what is the language? When I record something and when I test it in QTP, what is the language? What is the language of QTP tool? VB scripting. Very good. VB scripting. Selenium. So that if you do not know VB scripting, can you be a QTP tester? You can be, but not really an expert, or you can't go dive into that, so you don't know. So for example, if you know VB script, can you be a Silk tester? If you know VB scripting, can you be a Silk tester? Elena, please answer me this. Helena, what is the language used in Silk test? There are Java, there is C. Silk test takes 2-3 languages. There is C, there is Java too, but mostly it is C. Okay, and for example, there is also called 4C or something, their own proprietary language actually. Even QTP was from Mercury. Mercury created its own language in the beginning for Windrunner, that is transaction scripting language, TSL. Okay, I don't want to talk about that now. Okay, so if you know one language, you are into that tool only. Selenium, there is no language. I will support every object oriented programming language. So VB scripting, what is VB scripting? It is a scripting language. What is Java? Object oriented. Tell me some of the object oriented programming languages. C. Is C a object oriented programming language? No, C++. Okay. Alright. Tell me more. C++ is one. Next. Tell me more. Keep it coming. Java. Tell me most used languages right now for application development, not software development. Visual Basic, VB.NET. VB is not object oriented. VB.NET is object oriented. I will tell you. Yeah. Java, C Sharp, Ruby, Python, PHP, all these are object oriented programming languages. Okay. Perl is also object oriented, but Perl is majorly not used as object oriented. Means most of the time when you use it, you don't want to use it. Okay. It's mostly used for shell scripting. It is mostly used for some other CGI scripting and all those stuff. So it is scripting. Agreed? Alright. So C Sharp, Java takes the complete C Sharp, Java, Ruby, PHP, Python takes most of the object oriented application development. So Selenium supports every language: Java, C Sharp, Perl, Python. So you can be a developer. You are learning a language. See, why do we learn a language? To do programming. Who does the programming most of the time? Developer. But doesn't mean developer is the only one who programs. Anyone can program. A system administrator programs. So some other person programs. Programming has nothing to do with development. But when someone is using the development language, why not use the same language for everything? Why to use one language for testing? Why to use one language for development? There is no communication between the developer and tester. If you use QTP, if you use VB scripting, you are using VB scripting. But is VB scripting used to develop that application? No. Developer is using Java or C Sharp. Then why are you using VB scripting? So use the same one knowledge, one company, one knowledge, one language. Everyone is talking in Java. See, in an ideal company, everyone is talking in Java, right? Everyone is a programmer, but someone is developer, someone is tester. But all of you are programmers. Okay, don't be scared by that word, that statement. Okay. So Selenium ID is the one which gives you record and playback. So Selenium ID is nothing but a icing on the cake to impress people from the QTP world. That, oh, I am not really different. I am same, but I am different. Okay. All right. Open source with corporate banking. Yes, Selenium has a really very good corporate banking. Means Google supports it. All the famous companies here support in Bay Area support Selenium a lot. Okay. All right. So let's really see a demo. What is Selenium, and let's work on that. Everyone should have Firefox browser. Does everyone have the Firefox browser? If no, please install. Please download and install. Firefox browser is must. Okay. Even if you are a web application tester, Firefox should be there. Firefox is open source. It works on every operating system, Mac, Linux, whatever it is. Firefox is there for you. Even Firefox is there on iPhone also. Don't worry. Right? So Firefox is there. So please install Firefox. So once you have, this is the Firefox browser. I have Firefox browser. So now I want to say, if you go to tools, there is nothing. So I will say Selenium IDE download. Do you see this one? Selenium IDE download. I go to downloads. See, Selenium HQ.org downloads, and if you see here, there is somewhere Selenium IDE. Do you see this one? So again, I will show you Selenium IDE download. Okay, I will go to the downloads, first one, and I will see here Selenium IDE. And this one, this version is there. Okay, I will click on this one. Automatically it is asking me, this button will come, allow. So it is downloading, and it will say, shall I install? Yes, please do install. It is nothing but a add-on to Firefox, extension to Firefox. Please don't install it. Say it again. Yes, please do. Everyone, this is a small thing. If you have and then you should restart the Firefox to get Firefox effective, means it won't show up otherwise. Okay, I am restarting the Firefox. Okay, I am restarting the Firefox. Now if you go to the tools, you see this Selenium IDE. Before it was not there, now it came up. Let's see what is this one, and this is this one. It looks like tiny cute small window. Do you think this is a tool? Yes, this is the tool. Yeah, so people who are coming from QTP background, I am used to big tools. Where is that big tool? So do you think this can do everything? Yes, it can't do everything, but it can guide you to everything. Okay, let's see. So this is the tool. See, this is the record button. This is the most of the automation tools work on this way, record and playback. So what is a record? You do something, you record it. When you play it, it saves it as a script, and when you play, it will play whatever you have done. So let's do one thing. Again, the site which I am going to test will be whiteboxqa.com only. Whiteboxqa.com. Do you see this one? Okay, I will say that I will take this one. I will take this one. It is asking me for a base URL. Do you see this base URL? Base means the domain. Give the domain which it needs to be tested. Give the domain which it needs to be tested. Alright, sorry, I can't maximize. I can't zoom in, but yeah. So if you see here, the Selenium ID is there. Now I will do, this is recording, this is stopping recording. So how does this will record? How does this will stop the recording? Let's see. For example, now I want to start recording. What it is recording? Tell me what it is going to record. It is going to record my interaction with the application. Am I interacting with the application? No. Whatever I do, for example, I want to click login now. Got it? Alright. If you see, something came up here. Something came up. And now I will enter something into here. Okay. I don't want to enter this because it will come up with the script there, but it's okay. I will change my password after this class. Okay. So I logged in. If you see here, some steps are created. Do you see this one? Some steps are created. Got it? And now, for example, I want to look on, let's say, I want to go into code, and I want to go into just, I want to make sure, I just want to click this. I want to go back and I want to log out. Got it? This is what I have done. And now if you see here in Selenium ID, all the steps are created. Do you see this one? Open this one, then enter username, then this is the password, this is the login, this is the code, log out. Steps are entered this one. Okay, recording is done. I will ask it to, so I stopped the recording. This is start the recording, stop the recording. Now you will ask it to play. Let's do, you can use two or any of the button, it doesn't matter. Let's play. It done the same thing what I have done, right? It can't simulate the back button. Yes, it could not simulate the back button. It has to do the back, and then it has to do then the logout. Okay, then the logout, right? Agreed? It's okay, no problem. It couldn't really perform, but I can do it from here. Now I will delete that step and I will do this again. See this? See? It went into code and it logged out. Agreed? Agreed? So it is doing whatever I have done. So record and play back. So if you see green means run, past.
The organizer has